Hello, bonjour. Today we'll have a little look at the passive form or la voix passive in French, which is used a lot more often than in English, mostly to try and change the emphasis in French. So first we need to understand what we mean by the passive form or the active form. If you look at this first sentence here, the police has arrested the thief. This form is said to be, or this sentence, sorry, is said to be in the active form. Okay, you got the police has arrested the thief. This sentence in English can also be changed in the passive form. And what I'm going to start with is the object of the verb, which then comes at the front. The thief has been arrested. And the fact that the police arrested it doesn't become so important. What is important is that the thief has been arrested. So, how do we form the passive form in French? What you need is être, which you're going to put in the tense that you need. So whether it's the present, the perfect tense, the future, whatever tense you need. Once you've done that, you just need to add the past participle. So let's have a look at our first example in the present tense. We've got a sentence here which is in the active form. Les témoins avertissent la police. So the witnesses call the police. At the moment, the emphasis is really on the word les témoins, the witnesses. What matters is that it's the witnesses that call the police. But we could say that it doesn't matter who calls the police, that what matters is that the police is called. So that's when the passive is going to come into play. So to form the passive, I'm going to start with la police, because I've said that's what is important. So la police. Then I need to use être into the present tense. Then I need to use the past participle of avertir, which is regular. And because I'm using être, I need to make the agreement. I need to add an extra e. So la police est avertie. And what really matters in that sentence is that the police is being called. It doesn't matter who calls the police. What matters is that it's called. Our second example is in the passé composé, so the perfect tense. So again, I've got my active sentence here, which says les témoins ont averti la police, and my ont averti is in the perfect tense. So what I want to say now is that the police has been called. So I'm going to need to put my être into the perfect tense. So I'll let you think about it for a couple of seconds. And we're going to start with la police. Okay, être in the perfect tense takes avoir as an auxiliary. And then the past participle of être is été. And then I need my past participle of the verb avertir again. Okay, so I've got the perfect tense of the verb être, which is there, a été with the auxiliary and the past participle of être, and then I need the past participle of the verb that I want to use, which is avertir. Let's have a look at the imperfect, l'imparfait this time. Same sentence again, still in the active. My main verb is in the imperfect, so you need to put your être into the imperfect. Again, start thinking about it. And we start with la police. Être in the imperfect is était. And then the past participle of the verb avertir. And again, still need to make the agreement because I've got an être. This one is in the future. So I'm sure you know what you need to do with être now. And I'm letting you think about it for a little bit. If you need more time, make sure you hit the pause button. So I will start again with la police. Être in the future, sera, and then past participle of avertir stays the same, just a ni at the end to make it feminine. Conditional, or le conditionnel, again same sentence, still in the active form, so you need to use être, which you are going to put in the conditional, obviously. Again, hit the pause button if you wish, while I get my pen ready. So we're going to start with la police. Être in the conditionnel is serait. Okay, that's a now in the middle there. And then averti, because it's my past participle again, with the agreement. And I'm sure you'll be delighted to hear that you can also have the passive form with the subjunctive. So we've got a sentence here in the subjunctive. Il faut que les témoins avertissent la police. So again, to put that into the passive form, what we're going to need to do is to use être into the subjunctive and use the past participle of avertir. So again, so we'll start with il faut. Make sure we introduce the subjunctive. Il faut que la police, and then être in the subjunctive is soit averti. And again, I make the agreement. So far it seems fairly straightforward. To form the passive, you put être in the tense that you need and use a past participle. But there are some verbs, however, that cannot be turned into the passive. And those verbs are verbs which take an indirect object. In other words, they're followed by a preposition. The most common ones will be demander à, parler à, or dire à. You cannot put them into the passive form. So you need to find an alternative way of doing that. The most frequent phrases which are passive in English and can't be rendered into passive in French are things like I was asked, I was told. These are the two most common. So with those sentences, the only way for us to render the passive form is to use on and then use a normal sentence. So I was asked is going to become on m'a demandé. I was told will follow the same principle. On m'a dit. We have to use the on to translate the idea of passive, because those verbs take an indirect object and cannot use the traditional method. And this is how you form the passive.